At the end of the last section, Hazriq, you started to allude to your teaching methods. How does what you learned or trained in help you to do what you do now?
My background is actually performing arts. I've been involved in theatre since 1997. My first production was at the Victoria Theatre. Ever since, I've been involved on stage as an actor. Throughout the years, doing acting work, I went through training with various actors and stuff. I felt that the training helped me develop as a person. If I got a chance to speak to people, if I got a chance to deliver a message, I'm able to use these theatre skills. Once I had to host an event that had about 1,000 people, and it was kind of scary actually, but the technique learned as a drummer helped me overcome that confidence, and somehow I managed it through and I delivered the event well.
If you had to describe this technique or this knowledge that you had that helped you overcome your would you describe it as stage fright?
Yes, exactly.
Would you and if you did, what was? Can you give us a quick lesson as to how that aim is achieved?
Okay, what happened is when we had to speak in front of people, we kind of have this adrenaline rush, and it's normal to have. So what I did behind the stage, I did a little bit of warm up. Just a little bit stretching here, your hands, mouth movements, just to make sure that everything is loosened up. Once you have that, you feel comfortable. If you get some feeling warm behind, it's even better.
Yes.
So once you have that, you can actually move forward and speak as per normal. That help. And actors do that before we actually go on stage.
Right.
And we actually warm ourselves up. We could take good 30 minutes. Just to prepare ourselves before on stage.
But not everybody does it that way. What does anyone who finds himself in that position have to know if they hadn't met you? How are they able to know that your particular methods might not work for them? There must be others, somebody who might tell. For example, I've been told that among the many methods that I use for people to calm themselves before going before a sort of a high attention moment, where everybody's just looking at you and what's the guy with the microphone saying now, would be to imagine the people sitting in the front row completely nude, for example.
Exactly.
You know, you think they're gonna before they laugh at you, you're laughing at them.
Exactly.
Correct.
I've heard that, and people do that sometimes
Yeah.
to imagine these people naked.
Yeah.
But if I were to do that, I find myself
It doesn't help
shivering.
you. It doesn't help you.
Yeah, because
so what about deliberately telling yourself to breathe slowly? You know, breathe into a paper bag or something, or deliberately slow down your breathing so that the words can come out flow. I mean, how does anyone know if they haven't learned many methods to decide what works for them? What method do you teach?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, we use the theatre techniques, and in fact, I've written a book on that.
Yes.
And if, for those who have not come to my workshops and stuff,
yeah.
they could get hold of this book,
Yeah.
which in the book I share certain techniques. Like you mentioned about breathing.
Yeah.
We do breathing techniques in drama lessons,
Yeah.
and I use that technique in my public speaking lesson because breathing is the main point of delivery. You need to have good breathing before you can deliver. If you speak too fast, you don't have that much air in you. You can't actually say words nicely. So breathing helps a lot.
The particular sector, the self-improvement sector, or the public speaking, or the coaching, or the training sector, is something that the number of people that I've met who basically teach something that helps other people, either whether in the service industry, or people who are looking for additional knowledge, continuing training and so forth. Are these people who avail themselves of self-improvement courses? Would you describe what you do as being part of the overall, what industry would that be? Self-improvement or?
It can be both. It can be self-improvement. It can be also professional development as well.
Okay. So, let's use professional development as a good way to describe this. When someone seeks additional help in professional development, do you think the motivation behind availing themselves of a course, taking additional time from their, say, taking time out from their family in order to improve themselves on the professional front. You think they do so because they're looking for an advantage over their colleagues?
Could be. But what I would like to share, when we got to learn something new, there could be two reasons. One, to help you economically. That's one. But I think the main one is to help you personally. Because once you develop yourself as a person, then you can actually help yourself economically. Yeah. So if you want to learn, say, for example, public speaking, they could help you to deliver and talk to people nicely. And once you're able to do that, you can then move on and present at work. And that helps you economically. So again, when you look at things, when you learn something, look for these two areas.
As we go to the break and come back with section 3, if someone found or didn't know that there was anything to be frightened about, or that someone who is not affected by stage fright, would you have something in what you teach that would help them even if they did not suffer from stage fright? What would be the advantage of attending one of your courses?
Usually, if you were to take into statistics, people, I would say public speaking is the number one fear among people. And in fact, it is. Everyone is afraid of public speaking to a certain extent. But I would say that we have this adrenaline rush within us. It's normal. So we have people who is not afraid of stage fright, but they still have this feeling of adrenaline rush. And if we could put this to a positive effect, he could actually deliver his message better. So if the person who has a stage fright, control the adrenaline rush, his message is, you can capture the audience just like that.
20 questions on 938 Live.